The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is one of the longest-running variety shows on television.
The turkey just doesn't taste the same unless the parade is on while the turkey's in the oven.
Native New Yorker, born and raised in the Bronx. I was 6 years old the first time I attended the parade.
My parents grew up watching it, their parents grew up watching it.
In Anchorage, Alaska, was just always in the background on the TV.
In Texas, the television was really critical. We all didn't notice how long turkey was taking to cook.
In St. Louis, Missouri, my dad would always call me in to see the Rockettes. It made me want to be a Rockette.
My grandmother would put on the parade as she was cooking. She would give me this giant box of crayons. I would just kind of draw what I saw. Huge characters.
Awe-inspiring balloons.
Gigantic floats.
Cultural performances, celebrities, marching bands.
I just got lost in it. And when I saw my opportunity here, I went for it.
Since the beginning, the actual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade continues to be built solely by the folks here in this parade studio.
This is the Macy's Parade Studio.
Magic is being built on the shop floor right now. And it's a noisy process. It's a loud day.
We get the concept from the design team, figure out how big is this thing, what's the material, and how's it gonna go together. We kind of have the shell of it, then we have to figure out what is inside of it.
There is nothing more exciting than realizing that something that did just start as a scribble is something that eventually I can come stand on.
Every day you don't know what you're getting into. I've done things that I didn't even think was in my skill set. I would never get to build a boat again. That keeps me coming back, the challenge.
We have people who've been here a long time.
I guess so. I'm still here at 73 and a half, so.
There's a lot of institutional knowledge that helps this thing get down the street successfully every year.
You don't really realize exactly how much goes into the parade. This is going to be my 7th parade, but it's my first year in the balloon studio. Previously, I was in costumes. The sewing experience that I have tracks really well with the heat sealing machines because they function very similarly to a sewing machine.
The main thing that I do is the animation, anything moving on the floats. It combines a lot of things that I love to do into one. This year will be my 5th parade.
My name is John Cheney, and I work as a carpenter here at Macy's, though I have been welding this morning. That's why I had my welding cap on.
Cheney, who's just phenomenal. The man has a brain like no other. I've seen him do some amazing things with wood.
I started carpentry back in the 70s. My first year in New York, I lived just a block or two away from the starting line. And I said, oh, I might want to work here next year. For my interview, I said, oh, I came from Maine and I worked on boats. And he said, well, we got a pirate ship and it needs all new ropes and rigging on it. And that got me the job more than anything.
The people here are some of the most skilled artisans I've ever met.
Hands down, some of the most talented people I've ever been around in my entire life. Don't tell them I said that.
They can just look at something and create it on the fly sometimes.
There's always all kinds of detail on it. People say, well, no one's gonna see that. Well, maybe one of the people on the float will say, wow, look at the detail they put in this.
These floats that go down the street, they're really small theaters. The costumes have to relate to the story that we're trying to tell, and it has to happen while it's moving down the street within like just a minute. This is where 8 to 10 people will get 4,000 costumes prepared for parade day. Like many people in the acting business, a lot of us segue into the behind the scenes. Costumes was my favorite thing. I really love embellishing a story with costumes, working with color, with focus. I really love it. I've been here for 22 years.
Thanksgiving mornings, my grandmother's in Alabama. I went straight for the television. Watching Broadway was a huge deal, and the Macy's Parade was one of the few opportunities I had to see Broadway.
I studied stage management, and I moved to New York City thinking I was going to be a Broadway stage manager.
I knew I wanted something like that in my life.
I found that same sense of camaraderie and group collaborative effort when I started working for the parade. This will be my 12th parade.
This will mark my 19th parade.
I work on the performative elements of the parade.
My job is to program each individual performance. Music has the power to move people, to inspire people.
It's a really great honor to be a person who works with these groups to bring out the best of them. The last thing they see before performing is me giving them a big high five and just wishing them the absolute biggest break a leg I could possibly offer.
It's completely surreal. These things that we work on, you see it in the streets of New York City.
It's really cool to be able to see my work actually in the parade.
To know that something that I work on, it affects so many people, it's humbling. It really is.
It is so special to be part of a team that crafts this kind of show. We're shepherding this parade into the future. We're taking care of it, but it's not our parade, it's really America's parade.
It does feel like I'm passing on this amazing tradition that existed before me and will exist well after me.
If the parade goes down the street, then we're okay.
That happiness you feel at the parade is really, really important. I think it's important to the whole country. It's kind of just kicks off the season. And somehow we get it all together and put it up. And then it dawns on you that you got to take it all down.
Didn't talk about laundry. Want to talk about laundry?